Picture this, it's Tuesday evening in Houston, Texas. A woman, let's call her Emma, is on a video call, laughing with a contractor 3,000 miles away, picking out gate colors for a house she's building in East Legon Hills. A house she's never stood inside, not even once. Now here's a number that stopped me in my tracks this week last year. Ghana poured in close to $6.5 billion in remittances. That's $6.5 billion. And that's almost 4 times what came in as a foreign direct investment. Now today, we're talking about where that money is really going and why I believe the diaspora isn't just sending money home anymore. We're starting to build the home up. Hey, global Ghanaian citizens, this is Adrian. Welcome to the Sound of Accra Podcast. This is a show where we showcase global Ghanaian excellence to the world by spotlighting top Ghanaian leaders, founders, and executives from the global Ghanaian community. Now, this is all with one aim: to leave you behind with meaningful takeaways that you can apply to your life, your business, and your career as well. So just some quick housekeeping before we get to this episode. If you're new here, you're most welcome. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, do leave us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. This always genuinely helps us to grow and grow and grow. Without further ado, let's go straight into it. So I've been wanting to dig into this topic for a while. Ghana's real estate and diaspora remittances, and why I think these two areas are one of the most important stories in Ghana's growth right now. This all starts with numbers, because numbers really tell a story, but they need a human face too, right? So here's what's actually happening on the ground. Ghana is one of the largest remittance receiving countries in all sub-Saharan Africa right now, second only to Nigeria, of course, which has the biggest population in the continent. Second in the entire region. That's massive for all of you investors, fintech creators. That's huge statistics. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, remittances are simply money sent home by people living abroad, whether that's family supporting family. But here's the thing, it's becoming so much more than that. All right. In 2024, Ghana received approximately 6.65 billion in remittances. And get this, that figure was nearly 4 times higher than the country's total foreign direct investment for the same year. Wow. So I just want you to sit with that for a second, right? 4 times more money came in every day from people like aunties in London, uncles in Houston, Texas, and even cousins in Toronto, Canada. Then from big institutional investors and corporations combined. That says the power of the diaspora today. And actually, from what I've seen more recently, that number kept climbing, reportedly moving from around 6.65 billion in 2024 towards nearly 7.8 billion in 2025, according to the Bank of Ghana's figures. Now, that's not a one-off. That's a trend line. And the growing share of that money every year isn't just covering school fees or hospital bills back home anymore. It's going into land, it's going into homes, and it's going into brick and mortar. So the question is, why is so much of this money specifically flowing into property? And that's exactly where we're heading next in this episode. Let's talk about geography for a second, because this money isn't just landing everywhere evenly. There's a real pattern that we're spotting here. First, let's look at the source. The United States remains, by a wide margin, the single largest source of remittances coming into Ghana, and the diasporan investors based in the US specifically are playing a huge role in driving demand for property here at home in Ghana. Now, where's that demand actually showing up? If you've spent any time in Accra or even scrolled through real estate listings on Mikasa or whatever platform, Bro Ghana, whatever platform that you use online, these names will sound familiar. East Legon Hills, Airport Residential Area, Airport Hills, Ridge, and honestly, a growing list of newer developments popping up across the city. These aren't random spots, especially East Legon. It's becoming almost like a symbol of arrival, like, I made it abroad, you know? But honestly, you can see it's not just about the house, it's more about what the house actually represents. So this is something that really fascinates me, okay? A lot of these buyers aren't even physically in Ghana for most of the process, as most of you would know. They're doing exactly what Amma did, managing it all over video calls through trusted family members, agents, project managers, who've built their entire careers around serving clients who live thousands of miles away but still call Ghana home. Yeah, that's what we're up against. So you've got this whole ecosystem now of architects, project managers, real estate agents, even interior designers building businesses specifically around the diaspora when it comes to property and real estate. And this brings me to maybe the most important question of this whole episode, because look, this isn't about money. There's something deeper going on here, something emotional, and that's where we're going next. All right. So honestly, the part that gets me the most personally is this bit here. Diasporan investment in Ghanaian real estate is driven by way more than financial returns. A lot of these investors are thinking long term. Some are planning to retire in Ghana. Some want to even preserve their cultural roots, give their kids, their grandkids, a physical place that says, this is where we come from. All right. Some are building generational wealth, something tangible that they can pass down. And there's that phrase that just keeps coming back, the motherland, the motherland, the motherland. And I think anyone in this diaspora, whether you're from first generation or fifth, something in you responds to that phrase. It's almost innate, right? It's something quite personal. Now, you can't talk about any of this without bringing up the year of return. Remember 2019? That epic year? It feels like almost 10 years ago, but it was only about 6 or 7 years ago, believe it or not. It just shows you how COVID and the pandemic has really sped up time. Ghana opened up its arms to diaspora in a way that I think genuinely really shifted something. I think this was really another turning point in Ghana's tourism, background. And more than that, it was an iconic moment around the world. It wasn't just a tourism moment. It became an emotional and a cultural turning point. And honestly, the ripple effects of that are still showing up today in property purchases, in relocations, in people quietly putting down their roots in Ghana. They're getting Ghanaian names, especially when they don't have Ghanaian names, or especially if they aren't even from Ghana. It's a beautiful thing to see, I must admit. But here's the bigger picture I want you guys all to really sit with, okay? As Ghana continues to grow, this relationship between diaspora and real estate is only going to become more influential. We're talking about housing, infrastructure, hospitality, the entire shape of how this country develops over the next 20 to 30 years. This isn't about diaspora money sitting on the sidelines anymore. It's about diaspora money in the foundation, literally, in the concrete, in the gates, the gardens going up across Accra and beyond. And that, to me, ironically, that's global Ghanaian excellence in action. Not just individuals winning abroad, but also bringing that win home, okay, into Ghana, brick by brick. So let's bring it home, okay? 3 takeaways from today. Ghana is now one of the top remittance-receiving countries in sub-Saharan Africa, and most of that money is flowing more than ever before, honestly, into lands and property, not just everyday expenses. Number 2, the US leads the way, of course, and they remain the single source of that money that you can see physically in all top locations in Accra, like Airport Residential, Chado, East Legon Hills, even Abri, so on and so forth. And number 3, this isn't really about ROI. It's more about the legacy. It's more about roots. It's more about the motherland calling people home, even if for now, that just means a house with a name on it, quietly waiting for them. Now, I want to hear from you. If any of you are in the diaspora and you thought about investing back at home, I want to know what's pushed you towards it and what's holding you back from relocating or investing in Ghana. Drop us a comment if you're watching on YouTube, or send us a voice note on the soundofaccra.com. We'd love to, even play your voice note back in one of the future episodes, or even respond to your voice note as an actual question and answer type episode. Feel free to connect with us on our socials at the Sound of Accra. And other than that, if this episode gave you even one nugget that you can carry with yourself, please do me a favor, share it with someone who needs to hear this episode. And if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, hit the follow or subscribe button and leave us a review. A 5-star one is very much appreciated. Okay? This really helps to grow the show. Until next time, I've been Adrian Daniels. If you got to the end of this episode, you've been amazing. I want to catch you in the next one. Take care, God bless, and thank you for listening.